carefully, hold on. Remember carefully that time is of essence in life. I came to this presentation almost 15 minutes before. Then Sai actually allowed me in almost 5 minutes or 10 minutes before. But I was ready in my house from morning. I practiced this at least 3-4 days before. Do you see how things work? Nothing in this world, there is nothing called magic in this world. Magic is a method. Remember that very clearly. However great your idea is, it's not going to fly if you come late to the presentation, because which shows that you don't value others' time. So with that, I'm going to tell you a little bit of background on where I come from. This is my 30th year career in this space as an entrepreneur. And I failed 5 times in mathematics in 12th standard. I hated studies. I hated go to school, but I went to school only to have fun. Then I did my diploma in mechanical engineering because my mother cried that I have to become an engineer like my brother, who was a great student. And reluctantly, I did that. When I passed out of my diploma in mechanical from PES College in Bangalore, I became an entrepreneur. The first entrepreneurship venture was I became part of an exhibition, one of the largest exhibition at that time in 1993-94, called ICE 93 exhibition. So I used to go there. I actually worked with them for a sponsorship deal. I got the sponsorship deal. The deal was that they'll give me a little bit of money and also a free stall. So I got both of them. I went to Tirupur and got t-shirts from there, packed it here in Bangalore well, and then that's the way I become an entrepreneur. Remember one thing, that there is no time to become an entrepreneur. You can become an entrepreneur right now. So my life started like that. And I never, at that time, this was in 1993 when I started, there was no concept called entrepreneurship. There was no concept called startups. And everybody whacked my ass that, why are you starting? Why don't you go join a company? And I applied in various companies, and many companies rejected me. Job was very hard at that time to get it. Now it's much easier to get jobs. And I'm sure many of you are looking for work from home options. We'll talk about that a little later. So that's the way it all started. So I've started 7 companies before I started 7 companies and failed in all of them before I started Pepper Square in 2002, 4th November. This happened after 9/11 catastrophe happened. So I moved back from the US and then I started Pepper Square. So it's been 21 years. We are one of the finest experience design companies in the world. We know, or I should say that we fuse creativity and technology seamlessly. That's why we get to work with some of the finest in the world. Having said that, we have 12 months cash in the bank. We are still bootstrapped. And I don't, just because company makes money, I don't buy my BMW. This is something all of you must learn, that entrepreneurship is not about making money. If you think that you need to make money, you can go do trading. You can go do something else. Entrepreneurship is about freedom. It's about making your vision coming true. It's about living life in your own terms. It's about failing. It's about experimenting and again and failing multiple times and ready to take that, have guts to move on. Entrepreneurship is about listening to your consciousness. Entrepreneurship is about solving a big problem in this world. Entrepreneurship is about thinking much larger than your life. So there are so many facets to entrepreneurship. So remember that money is the byproduct of entrepreneurship. Otherwise, you know what all happened to many companies now. They've taken billions of dollars, but they have become bankrupt. And that's what has happened to most companies in the world. Now, this presentation, hold on. This presentation is not my idea. It's come from various people from across the world. So I focus on communication, then I focus on effective communication, then I focused on storytelling. Today I'm at a point, how can I tell a story in the shortest time possible? So all that I'm going to show you in this presentation comes from Guy Kawasaki, whom you see it, who used to work with Steve Jobs. He has come out with brilliant ideas on how to create pitch deck. And I don't think anybody has said it so eloquently than Guy Kawasaki. Sequoia has done enormous amount of investment in their life, in the entire company's history. So many ideas come from them. A lot of ideas come from Y Combinator. Some of the ideas come from how Airbnb pitched their ideas to investors, Facebook, and so many other companies. And a lot of ideas comes from Forbes. Having said this, I'm going to start with my presentation, and this is going to be hardly 10 slides max, and I'll walk you through what is what. Please write down all your questions. You can also put it in the chat. I won't be looking at it right now, but at the end of the session, we'll do it. I'll try to condense this presentation to 18 to 20 minutes so that we have more time to talk. Ask all kinds of questions. No question is silly. And this is your chance to learn the art of elevator pitch. The most important thing which people miss out is what I call it as a hero messaging. Hero messaging is, it says very clearly, an inspiring message about your product or a service. It doesn't matter. You don't have to start only a product company. There are billion-dollar companies started which got sold out. There is a company called ProKarma. It was sold for almost a $2 billion company. Started at Pepper Square with nothing. And it was a services company, IT services company, but they sold out in 2021. So there is no need for you to start a product company. You can start a product company or a services company, it doesn't matter. But focus on serving a large market and a big problem that you're going to solve. Never focus on a smaller problem to solve, because that gets over very quickly. So it's very important for you to create that inspiring message so that you hook the audience attention and build curiosity in no time. Remember that out of 100 companies funded in Silicon Valley, which is the number one startup ecosystem in the world, next I would say that it is Bangalore. And in Silicon Valley, out of 100 startups which are funded, only 4 survives. Only 4 survives. Out of 4, only 1 thrives. Remember that out of 100 companies funded, only 4 survives, 1 thrives. So the stories what you are hearing about Flipkarts and other kind of companies are only those 1%? Absolutely not. In India, it's maybe 0.0001%. It's that low. So all the stories you are hearing is only about the companies which are thriving or surviving, not about the companies which has died. So entrepreneurship is not for babies wearing diapers. It's for somebody who's ready to do a marathon again and again and again and not getting bored. So hero messaging is all about building trust. You have only the first chance to build a trust. There is a beautiful saying which says that your first chance is your last chance. And that's absolutely true when it comes to pitch deck or anything in your life. So to build the trust and establish a rapport quickly is of paramount importance. If it is one-on-one, if you're going to meet a person one-on-one, I would say don't use a laptop. Come out with a brilliant creative idea where you can print it out or do some prototype or something like that, then talk about it. I would the last thing that you would want to think about is the tone of what you want to convey. It's very important for you to understand the tonality. Today, be happy that you have got AI, Grammarly, and so many other things that help you write the content very eloquently. But that was not the case 10 years before. So anything you do, it has to be engaging. Make sure that it is not dry. It's not mind-numbing presentation. You may think it's a great work of art, but nobody is going to listen to you. At the end of the day, great content makes a great deck. How beautifully you're going to tell a story is what matters. But if you can sprinkle in some creativity and character on top of the content, then you have a great winning formula. With that, I want to tell you something all of you must remember. I will also send this presentation along with the notes to Sai, and then he can circulate it to you. The one I'm going to tell you right now before I move to the second slide is created by Guy Kawasaki. He says that follow a 10, 20, 30 rule. He says that follow a 10, 20, 30 rule of PowerPoint presentation, or it can be any presentation. Today you use Canva, Figma, it doesn't matter what the presentation is all about, what the medium is, what the channel is. But understand 10, 20, 30. So it's very simple. A pitch should have only 10 slides. It cannot have more than 10 slides. This 10 slides includes the first and the last slide. The first slide is always the opening slide, the one I showed you. The last slide is a thank you slide, right? So it's only 10 slides overall. Last no more than 20 minutes. Any presentation should not be more than 20 minutes. The lesser, the better. And any font in the website, in the presentation cannot be more than 30 points. What does it mean? The one what you are seeing here, the text what you're seeing, the minimum size is 30 point, the maximum size is 58 point. So most people, what they do is they cramp so much of data, nobody is going to read it. They are looking at hundreds and hundreds of presentation every month. They don't care a damn about what you are wanting to say. You may have a greatest idea, but you may screw it up. This rule is applicable for any presentation to reach an agreement. For example, raising a capital, making a sale, forming a partnership. So whatever I'm going to tell you in this entire presentation, it's not only for pitch deck, it's an art of elevator pitch. Elevator pitch can be for anything. The second one is problem and opportunity. You must, with clarity, describe the pain that you are removing or the pleasure you are providing with your idea. The goal is to change the pulse rate of the investor. The second slide, the investor should be thinking, my God, I'm looking at what is he going to talk about? What is she going to talk about? For example, you can talk about your product vision here. The first objective of the product vision is to outline the purpose of your product or a service very eloquently in 1.5 line. The long-term challenge you are solving on how your product or a service is going to help the consumers or the customers. So the second slide itself, you are hitting it. It's like Maniratnam movies. When he starts, he's one of the pioneers in India who changed the way movie making happened. Everybody used to just start with a story, but Maniratnam used to start with a dark, what do I say, scene where you can only hear somebody talking. In Hollywood, many people have done it before, but Maniratnam is the one who has pioneered that in India. So which means you are focusing carefully on the audio, and the scene in front of you is very blank. It's not starting anything. Some movies, it will be a very fast-paced scene and you'll be thinking what's happening. He will bring the climax first and start the entire movie. So what am I saying here? The idea is available in dime a dozen. It's about how you want to package this entire presentation so that you hook the audience and they should be sitting in the edge of their seat. The most important one after that is value proposition. Value proposition means explaining the value of the pain you are removing, the value of the pleasure you provide. Remember that. In this, you are talking about the problem and opportunity of your idea in terms of what is the pain you are removing it and what is the pleasure you are providing. In this case, you are explaining how you are removing the pain, how you are adding the pleasure. So that way the story is beautifully moving. The next one is underlying magic. This is so important. When I started the conversation saying there is no magic, right? But here it is magic. What is magic here? Describe the technology you are using. A secret sauce, maybe a patent or you know, magic behind your product, which is there is something which nobody else is doing it, but you have done it, or you have tried it with 3,000 people. I'm planning to start a snack company right now in my mother's name. I've been thinking of it for a long time. For almost 4 years, I have given the snacks for to 3,000 people across the world. And I've got fantastic feedback from people. It's not that I waited for 3 to 4 years to start, but I never wanted to start. But I thought that let me just take it organically. So when I gave these product free to people, I put a sticker, all kinds of stickers. I've changed it over a period of time just to understand the pulse of the audience. So many people have sent me messages saying that it was excellent. So what am I saying here? The less text, the more diagram is better. Nobody wants to read your text. Nobody wants to listen to you because today we all have only 7 seconds. After that, we lose interest. You can talk about the schematics, the flow chart, whatever that is, doesn't matter. If you have a prototype or a demo, show it, plug it in right here. And this is the time to transition your entire idea here, because this is what is going to make or break. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a prototype is worth 1,000 pictures. This is a very famous saying. So the underlying magic here refers to your differentiation, which can take a form of IP, as I told you, unfair advantage, or an innovative resource model. It can be anything, it doesn't matter. The next one is the business model. This is the most difficult one for people to crack it. It is very simple if you understand. I can say that simple. For you, it may sound complex because you lack the experience, but eventually you will get it. Nothing is big deal. Anything in this world is not a big deal. It's a method. So explain who has your money temporarily in their pockets and how you are going to get into your pockets. So there are enough number of consumers who are out there who are going to buy your product or a service, and they are the people who have the money. So you have to be very focused on your target audience definition and segmenting your target audience. That once you segment the target audience, you have to define it by decision makers, users, buyers, and various criteria. Based on that, you will come to know what kind of people whom you need to talk to, and you should go there and then pitch it to them. So here I want to take a step back and tell you guys what happens in Silicon Valley as of today. Today, if you're an entrepreneur, wannabe entrepreneur like you guys, what happens is you have you have an idea. Nobody cares about your idea. You need to put it down on paper. Go talk to so many customers that this is what is my idea. What do you think of it? You can also talk to VCs and advisors. They'll give you enormous amount of feedback. Remember, when somebody gives you bad feedback, which is so-called constructive feedback, in my opinion, let's say negative feedback, that's the right way to say it. Please take it, because when somebody gives you negative feedback, that's the one which is worth millions of dollars. Because when somebody says, oh, you have done it great, I'm not interested in that. I am interested in somebody finding a hole in my business plan, in my model, because they are thinking from their whole years of experience. So in the US, what happens is today in Silicon Valley, as I said, you have an idea, they go talk to the customer, they get that, then they come back, they put together a demo or a product in less than 21 days, and then they take it back to the potential customers or prospects and pitch it to them. And it's not just pitching it and coming out. 90+% of the time, I would say that sales guys, marketing folks, entrepreneurs, wannabe entrepreneurs, all kinds of business development folks, they all go there, pitch it, but they never do a conclusion. You have to always conclude. What is the conclusion? You should ask them, how much, since you liked it, even 25%, how much are you willing to pay for my product? That's the conclusion you are looking for. So this is about a good deck that clearly explore the opportunity in a market using strong data points, financial projections, and to present the growth potential. That is what is the business model is all about. The next is the go-to-market plan. This is the most abused word in the world. They call it as GTM. Most people don't know what is a GTM is. Most GTM in the world are gas. They don't speak clarity. In life, it's taken me 52 years to bring clarity in my life. I'm sure all of you, with all the data points available, can get clarity right this second, because I never had internet access at that time. I never had computers. I never had a cell phone. It was only books. Even I didn't have money to buy books. I have to go there, borrow things. Just to tell you guys, I'm one of the first digital designers in the country, one of the first users of Apple, Adobe, various other products in the world. And at that time, there was no software available. Hardly anybody used to have. One guy in Bombay, one guy in Bangalore. So I have to go. First of all, finding them is harder. Then after that, at that time, we had what is called a hardware lock. So I didn't have a computer. So I have to beg and borrow. I have to ask them to give it. They won't. I have to sit outside their house till the person comes in. And I have to go home and read the manual, but they won't give you the manual. So I need to take it and then go Xerox it. And that itself used to cost me so much. That's the way I've learned it. So I would want you guys to learn voraciously. Stop spending time on movies like Kalki and all of them. That's not going to add any value in your life. So what is a go to market plan? Apart from what it says, explain how you are going to reach your customer without breaking the bank. So Guy Kawasaki says, stop saying go viral. It's a total bullshit, because go viral means nothing. So what does it really mean? It means you want to clearly demonstrate the fact that you have thought about how to roll out your product and how to capture the market or market share. That is what go-to-market plan is, which means you have to do it again and again and again. Go there, take feedback, then come back, iterate it, and then finally you will get there. Competitive analysis. What is a competitive analysis? When I ask you, I'm sure all of you would answer. But it is about providing a complete view of the competitive landscape. Anyone who says, I don't compete with anybody, which means they are bound to fail. So when I say competition, that does not mean that they have to do exactly similar to you. No one person, no one company will do exactly what you do. They may be doing it in bits and pieces, but you need to find out how they are doing it. What's their pricing strategy is. Why so many people would have tried it and failed. You should call them up and tell them, hey, I know you have done something like this. I'm passionate about doing this. Then the person will say, don't start, you are going to fail. You should ask them, thank you for your feedback, but I want to understand, why are you saying that I should not start? Why are you saying what you are saying? Why are you saying that you have failed? Tell me the reason. That is the beauty of your strategic thinking. That's not reaction, but response. Stop reacting, start responding. And what is that? Guy Kawasaki says, saying that you are passionate is utterly meaningless, because if you are an entrepreneur and you are saying that you are passionate about your business, I will not invest in your money, invest 1 rupee in your company. Why? Passion is a lot of emotion. Passion brings tremendous amount of emotion. Business means it's creating wealth and solving a large problem and then creating a wealth for all the stakeholders. Do you see the difference between that? So stop saying passionate. But I'm not saying that you should not be passionate about it. But I'm saying keep your passion with yourself. But the investor who's looking at you, he's looking at it, he's looking at it without any passion. Why? He or she has invested in thousands of companies like yours. So they don't care about it. They are looking at how can they earn 400x, not 4x today. Team, one of the most important thing. Here, you need to talk about the people behind your company. So this is a question which most people ask me. When I started my company, I did not have the concept at that time called co-founding. Today, the concept called co-founding is very well established, right? So if you ask me, do I need a co-founder to start? You don't need a co-founder to start your company. Absolutely not. Because why should you wait for a co-founder to come in? Then when will you start? So when people ask me, I always jokingly say that. People ask me, when do I start a company? I tell them, people always tell you that think before you jump in the well. I always tell you, jump in the well, you will have enough time to think. That is what is called blitzscaling. And Reid Hoffman talks about it. He has written a book on it. I would strongly advise all of you to buy Blitzscaling and read it. So, what is the team? People buy people. Remember that people buy people before they buy your product or your service. So, as much as you may have, you may be the face of the founder, it's important to show your team the complementary skills and what's the business each one of you are going to focus on, how decentralized you are as a team, how different kind of skill sets are coming together and going to make this business a successful business. So basically, make your company human. Don't make it robotic, right? So story about yourself as a founder and your business as a whole is very important. So whenever I talk about I failed 7 times, people are more interested because the investors think that I know what it is to build a company. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's very important. Don't say that I have failed 3 times. You won't have even started. When I say I've started 7 companies and failed, these are all real businesses. I have started, I have paid people, I have employed people, I have had customers, then I have failed for whatever the reason. Financial project, it should be financial projection. I think it's a mistake if I'm not wrong. So financial projection and key metrics, right? Provide 3-year forecast containing not only dollars but key metrics such as the number of customers and conversion rate. Most of the time when I see this financial projection, it's bullshit. You know why? They say first year I'm going to get 10 customers. Let's say I'm just saying 100 customers, and then they start extrapolating it. That's not going to work. It has never worked for anybody. What we are talking about, capital you are raising and the date you the company. When did you start the company and how much money you have raised? Doesn't matter if your mother has given you 10,000 rupees, your friend has given you 20,000 rupees, but you need to talk about it. This round of funding, you should also talk about it. For example, if you're pitching for a, let's say, a second round of funding or a first round of seed funding, you should say what this seed funding is going to allow you to do. How is it going to accelerate your growth of the business? How is it going to expand your team and deliver greater value to your customer? It is all about delivering great value to your customers. That is what matters. Then it is very important for all of you guys to talk about current status. The current status is, you should say, you may not have started the company, doesn't matter. But say that I have already spoken to 100 different prospects. And these are all the data points I collected. Summarize all of them. Don't just show the Ramayan there. Nobody's interested. And you should talk about, the traction as of today. What has happened? You started this from your college and this is where you are. This is where you're going to be. But this is this point you are in. You are in the right point and right time to take the money right now. And here you should talk about early performance data, whatever the customers are saying about your product or service. And if you are pre-launching a product, then include development milestones, user test data, anything that might demonstrate momentum about your product or your service. Include your social media handles where you talk about your idea and product. So that's why it's very important for all of you. Give me 1 second. It's very important for all of you to talk about your idea in Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all of that, so that the investor will take you seriously. The last one in this, before I take up your questions, if you feel like you need additional backup, and you likely will, include those slides in the appendix. Now, all I'm saying is you may have lots of data, put all of them as an appendix, whether you are selling your pitch deck, doesn't matter. Push all of them there. Whenever the customer asks you something, you should be able to bring it in. And with this, I wanted to tell you, till here it was so easy for you to read the content. Here it became very difficult. Never ever do right alignment in any of your presentation. Left alignment is the easiest to read, and then central line, this is central alignment, is second highest readability. This is the lowest readability. Never ever do a right align because it's very hard to read. So thanks so much, and I will shut this presentation, and I would be very happy to take your questions. Go ahead. Yeah.
Please, Agarwal, you can ask your question.
Hello. Hi,
Yes.
Muki. Thank you so much for the presentation. I think it was super knowledgeable for us. Just wanted to ask if you have any sample presentations with you as of now, so that we can just correlate the concepts that you taught to us with the actual deck of some other company or some other brand.
There are hundreds of decks follow the same thing, including Airbnbs of the world. You go look
Hmm.
up for Guy Kawasaki, whatever I suggested. Sequoia has got a fantastic knowledge portal. You can go there and download it. Search online, you will get it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Next question.
I'm okay. I think it was a wonderful presentation. I have a question regarding this slide on financial projections. So what are the basic assumptions that we can generally take for, let's say, a very beginning startup?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, if I only have conversations, but I don't have anything to back that up. So how do I project whatever I'm projecting? What are the assumptions that I take?
Okay, go step back and then give me a context.
So let's say I'm building a product and I've spoken to people that, okay, out of 1,000 people, let's say 50 are interested. And that's what I feel is like the conversion rate. But that might be biased based on the kind of people that I've interacted with. Also, it might be very myopic because I've only spoken to, let's say, one demographic. And somehow I do not have the ability to talk to the others, but I do want to project that into the data. So what kind of assumptions would be advisable to be used in such scenarios?
So it's fantastic question. Remember one thing, be authentic. I ended the slide saying authentically forward. That's our new logo, new tagline in Pepper Square, which has come from the way how I live my life. There is no need to lie. There is no need to extrapolate. Speak the truth because you will go a long way. What does it mean? You should say, I have done study only in this area, but I know that I need to do it in various other places, and I have not done it. And that's why I'm coming to you. If I have all the necessary ammunition, then I don't need a VC. I don't need your money. I will take my company forward, right? So do you see the authenticity? It's not arrogance, it's but clarity. So that is the first point. Um, the second important aspect for the question you asked is, can I extrapolate it? Stop, don't extrapolate it. Just say that in Bangalore, I identified customers. I have spoken to around 60 customers. This is what they are saying about my product. I have a good feel, but I am not saying that it will work as is in Chennai. There may be 10% variation in South India. There could be 40% variation in Northern India. Do you see? That's the assumption you should bring in by doing enough research and your intelligence. That's to me is a business strategy.
Could I use the data from competitors?
You can use it. Absolutely, you can use it. It's always good because they have already done it. So you can use that idea.
Makes sense. Thank you.
I would suggest that all of you ask me only one question so that more people can ask. Thanks. And you don't have to say hi, Muki, nothing. Just say your name, get to the point.
Hello, sir. My name is Sarth, and I went through your LinkedIn profile and I found out that from grade 12 you were in a Tamil medium school, not too good at academics. On the other, and then you did so much great, in starting your own business. I am very good at my academics. I've won a lot of competitions, but I still find myself as a failure when I want to start my own startup. Like I don't go till the stage where I fail. The problem is I don't start. So like I have a lot of ideas, I have that brain, But then I'm not able to start anything by myself. I sometimes get those second thoughts. So is there anything that can back me or help me?
Beautiful. What's your name?
My name is Sarth.
Sarth. Where are you from, Sarth?
I'm from Pune.
So, where are you studying in IIM or where are you studying?
No, I am I'm in second year undergraduate. I'm doing a dual course, BBA IT from Symbiosis, and I'm doing BS Data Science and Programming from IIT
Where were
Madras.
you born?
In Pune. I was born in Pune.
Okay. So, do you have a girlfriend?
No, sir, I don't have one.
The first thing is you should go get a girlfriend. Because when you go, that one of the best ways you should learn to communicate is to have a, opposite sex, because they are the ones who will tell you they'll give you feedback very honestly. So it's very important. Many times you would have said, I'm sure many times you have liked so many girls you have come across, but you wanted to say that you like them, but you hold on to it. Now, what happened? Many times you would have come across that a guy who may not be as good looking as you, let's say like me, who's not as good, may not be as good looking as you, or I could not speak English like the way you speak, but they may be talking to girls. Why? Because they don't care about the outcome. They are not bothered about the results. This is the same thing works with anything you start. Do not think about whether you are going to be successful or not. Just jump and then you will learn. There is nothing more than that. There is no method. There is no motivation can help you. You just have to be ready. And there is no you anything perfect is dead. Remember, just like our beautiful language Sanskrit. Sanskrit may be probably the most perfect language in the world, but it's dead long time ago. Why? It was very hard for others to speak, even though it has almost everything. So many languages has come out of that. Why is that English is so popular? Because they are always upgrading, they are always changing it, right? It's so easy. There are various other factors, but I'm saying, if you say,
Correct.
I don't know how to speak Hindi, but I understand a little bit, but Hindi is far more easier than Sanskrit, right? So it's important to understand that don't try to be perfect. Anything perfect is dead. Just keep on iterating it. If you go see the first iPhone which came up in the world, you will not even touch it. It looks so bad today, but at that day it was great. So go for it. Next question.
Jain sir.
Hi.
Myself, Harsh. I want to ask a question about should we disclose technology to the investor before getting patents?
Fantastic. Lovely. This is a wonderful question. So, if you have a technology in your mind, if you have an idea in your mind, it means nothing. But if you have a patent, which you already have a patent, then nobody can do anything with that, right? So, if you go ask a investor that sign an NDA because I've got a very important idea, no investor is going to sign for it. I would not sign. Why? Because I see hundreds of ideas like this. As I said, ideas are available in millions. It's about how you're going to execute it. So nobody can take your idea and then make it big, because there are so many ideas available today, right? Why is that you can't take it and make it happen? Because beyond the idea, everything revolves around the execution. So it's all about the execution. So nobody is going to take your idea. If somebody takes it, it's fine, man. Go start a new idea, because which shows very clearly you can go there, pitch it to your customer, pitch it to your VCs or investors, saying that this was my idea, my friend took it, he has built $100 million company. There you have a great story. Next question.
Hi, Muki. I myself have a doubt. When you are saying about the business model, so can you give any example? Because we are lacking experience here, and whenever anytime I encounter a word business model in our classroom, also, I feel a bit tensed. So, can you give any example where how to pitch it or how to make a business model?
So, see, business model is very simple. How are you going to run your business through which you are going to get customers and how much the customers are willing to pay. So business model has got multiple levels, not in order, but I'm just going to say it randomly. Very important. Where are your customers? The geography where your customers are sitting. Then who are your customers? Is the enterprise your customers? Small and medium companies are your customers? Emerging companies or scale-ups or startups? Who's your customer? Next, is your business going to be selling in B2B or B2C? If it is B2B, who's going to buy it? What is the distribution channel? What you're going to do? Are you going to directly talk to customer? If it is B2C, let's say something like Flipkart, then where all you're going to sell? If you're going to sell in across India, then how will you reach? What's your distribution methodology? What's your supply chain? Then it goes to what's your financial strategy? How long will you take to make profit? How long can you sustain with $1 million or a 1 crore or 10 lakh? It doesn't matter how much it is. Then that will give me an idea as an investor. Okay, this guy is very clear that he wants only 10 lakhs from me. After 10 lakhs, I know how to get I know how to get more money from my friends or other people if he or she can show me results, right? So it's all about result, result, result. Result doesn't mean, see, I'll just take a step back. Somebody went to Warren Buffett and asked him that in one of the schools that, Warren, why don't you tell us what does business mean? He said, business means revenue and profit. If there is no revenue, there is no profit, it is not a business. But today, that's not the truth. That's not the fact, or that's not the way people look at it. Look at business, because business has gone through tremendous amount of change. Even though you need to eventually make revenue and profit one day, there are so many companies who got sold out before even making profit. For example, Flipkart, right? Flipkart still is not making profit. It's a loss-making company. Or for example, Zomato. Zomato is a loss-making company today. But how come they become such a massive company worth $20 billion? Because we are all ready to bet on them. We know that there is a great opportunity for them. That's what I told you. Zomato looked at a large problem India is facing, and they are looking at a massive market of India, which is 1.4 billion people, out of which not all of them may become their customers. Even if 300 million people become a customer, that's equal to America, right? So that's what I'm talking about business model. Business model has got multiple layer in it. Go read it, don't sit and then get scared. I read around 15 books a month. Whatever I'm saying, it's all coming from thousands of books I've read. I spend around at least 3 hours a day to read books, morning, evening. I read it for 15 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 5 hours. So there is no set time for me. So you need to constantly read. I do watch movies. It's not that I don't, but I don't waste time talking to people, chit-chatting. I don't waste all that. So go read online. When you go read, the more you read, the better the more you read, the more confident you will become. The more confident you are, the better guts you will have. The more guts you have done enormous amount of research. So when you have more guts, which means you have toiled, you have spent so much time in understanding that. That's what investors are looking for. Next question.
Hey, this is Ravi. Since you have gone over the content, my question is over delivery and the style, right? So I just want to understand that what are the common mistakes that people make while delivering an elevator pitch? And basically, mine is a bit elaborate question, right? Is my non-verbal cues like body language, tone of voice, how do I gauge the person's interest who I'm pitching to? Can you just share some tips on how can I practice my elevator pitch and whom should I pick while practicing?
Fantastic question, Ravi. Many people ask me, Muki, um, I'm sorry that I'm not asking you right question. I tell them that without your question, there is no answer. So this is a fantastic question Ravi opened up. Body language is everything. Body language is everything. Because body language has no language. There is no voice, there is no sense, there is nothing. It's only the other person is feeling, right? So, for example, I would strongly discourage you to wearing perfume, because people like me may be very allergic to perfume, because perfumes are terrible for your body. By the way, it creates a lot of allergy. Don't use strong soap and all that, because that's going to alter their mind in a jiffy. Go and don't go there without taking a shower also. Just take a shower, use a mild soap. These are all things you guys have to learn. Number one, always make sure that you have dental hygiene, because you may come closer contact with them. And you should not be chewing gum while you are, presenting. You should spit it out, but it should smell good. Number two. Number three, always look at eye to eye contact. Don't look at it here, there. Don't get distracted. And there are all possibilities. 99.9% of the time you'll be nervous. Doesn't matter. Press your toe. The moment you press your toe, automatically you'll get confidence. You'll be in the present. When you press your toe, all of you can do it right now. Press your toe, even if you're wearing a shoe, you will start listening only to me. You will not listen. Your mind will not go anywhere. Why? Because that's a pressure point. So our feet has got 2 lakh nerves from each feet. Each feet has got 2 lakh nerves directly connected to our body and the brain, right? So when you press the toe, that's directly connected to your brain. That's why you'll stop thinking. So you should always focus, be in the present. Don't take your mind. Your mind will take you everywhere. Don't do that. Come back. Suppose if you make a mistake, tell them, I'm sorry, I was not happy with what I did. I wanted to restart that. Don't restart the entire presentation, but only that particular sentence or a slide. You can do it, concise it. The next one, very important. Do not wear complex t-shirts with checks and various text which is written there talking about a superstar and this and that. It's all it's all distraction. Wear a plain t-shirt. If possible, get a plain t-shirt. There is a guy who sells in Bangalore. I forget the name of that. He sells a t-shirt without any, just like the one I'm wearing. It has no logo at all. This is by Uniqlo. So you can go buy plain t-shirts like these, so that the focus of the VC is on your face, not on your body. Do not wear checked t-shirt, checked shirts. Wear a plain shirt. These are all something nobody teaches you. I do that because I have learned this by mistake and experiment. Then the most important thing, if don't shake your hands, don't play with your pen like this, right? Hold your hand like this, right? So this is always good to hold like that and then speak. And then obviously you don't have to hold it like this, but you can hold it like this. And then whenever you want to move your hand, it's okay. And then tone it down. Do not, I'm speaking faster because we have very less time. But for example, somebody asked me, how do I pitch it? So let's say that I'm pitching an idea. Okay. And I can say that I can start saying like this. All of you count 25 seconds. Okay. I'll also put a timer right now. I'm going to pitch an idea. This idea is about, let's say, I'm coming out with a new smartphone. Okay, think that I'm coming out with a new smartphone and I'm going to pitch it. Everybody knows there is a great smartphone. Why the hell I wanted to listen to you, right? In 25 seconds, I have to pitch. So first time I'll pitch it like 99.9% of the people. Then I'll tell you how I would pitch it today. Okay, I'm starting it today. My name is Muki, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And I have a fantastic idea, and this is in the smartphone industry, and I would love to pitch that to you. I really appreciate you giving me time. And do you see that? I'm stopping it right now. 17 seconds I farted around by saying nothing. Do you see that? Now I'm going to restart this and I'm going to start my presentation. There are more than 3.2 billion people in the world who use the smartphone today. 99% of them are using it in a day for more than 7 hours. Digital fatigue has become so difficult to manage. There are no medicines, and doctors and scientists are growing crazy. Here is my smartphone idea, where when you touch it, It has sensors. It removes your pain. It reduces your stress. At the same time, it tells you when, if you are looking at the smartphone for more than 10 minutes at a stretch, it will tell you to stop that. It'll tell you to stop, not only visually, but physically too. Say, I said the whole thing in 47 seconds. I just made it up. Do you see that? That's the way you need to pitch to any idea, because nobody has time. So there is a person who went to Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest directors, and that guy asked him, how do you identify this is a great movie script? He said that in 25 seconds, that person should be able to say what this movie is all about, and that's when I would understand that it's going to be a great script. Because it's very important that we all lose interest in 7 seconds. VCs across the world lose interest in less than 25 seconds. So you have only 25 seconds. That's called the golden moment. And you have to convince them, not convince them, you have to hook them. Don't convince them. Stop convincing people. Hook them, because if you start convincing them, then it's a sales pitch. You got to go beyond that. Next question. Sai, how much time do we have, Sai?
We have planned it until 4, but we can, if still participants are having some questions, we can extend it for 5 to 10 minutes more.
Okay, go ahead. We'll do it for 5 more minutes. And all of you can reach out to me. When you reach out to me, come back with a very crisp question. And you can reach out to me in LinkedIn or my Instagram. Instagram, I talk about food, body, and life, which is what most people in the world have no clue. We all know what is what in life, but we have no idea how this body is. I would strongly advise all of you guys to start focusing on your body. I'm a fruitarian. 80% of the time I eat only fruits. That's why I have loads of energy. I'm 52 years old. I've never fallen sick in the last 9 years, never gone to a doctor. I don't take medication. Many people from my office are also doing that. One of your student, Pawan here, he has also changed his life drastically. He's a great example of that. So go ahead, ask your questions. Anybody? Okay, if you guys don't have question, we will end this presentation. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Sai, is it okay to end it if people don't have question?
Yeah, sure, we can end it. Thank you so much. I think Lakshya Singh raised his hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, hello, sir. I'm Lakshya. So I have a question like when you will go on LinkedIn, you will find every second person recognize themselves as a founder. But we know 99% of companies are failing in India due to many reasons like timing, lack of innovation. But like, what is the common thing where we are lacking?
Beautiful. What's your name?
Lakshya,
Lakshay. Where are you from, Lakshay?
New Delhi.
Lovely. It's a fantastic question. This is very significant. See, if you look at Ola is a Me Too idea. It started by Uber. They did that in India. So they started out very well, no doubt about it. They have built a beautiful company, right? Earlier, now they are losing innovation. They lack creativity. And the founder also is moving to different, diversifying his business too fast. And, so I don't have confidence in that company. When they go IPO, I won't buy it, right? So now with Zomato, it's a different, they are also a Me Too idea. It's not that it started in India, it started in America. And they may say so many things, but but they have done a brilliant job. So now what is the difference between Zomato and Ola? Because Ola is not a public limited company yet, because they are struggling actually to go public. They may say so many things. But Zomato has gone public, and people like me have bought Zomato shares, right? So why? Because Zomato, even though both are backed by great entrepreneurs, both of them are great entrepreneurs, no doubt about it. Zomato has learned it faster in terms of corporate governance, it's learning so much faster, and they are connected to the customers, and they are changing faster, like the way they did with Blinkit. What a brilliant idea. Today, Zomato, 70% of their business, I was told that it comes from Blinkit, right? What a fantastic idea. So even though the company went public, they become massive, he is not stopping the innovation. He is not looking for, he's not waiting for something to happen. He's always going forward, right? So look at Reliance as a company. Mukesh Ambani, I mean, he's not an entrepreneur. His father was. I always looked up to Dhirubhai Ambani for his resilience, right? But Mukesh Ambani, what a phenomenal businessman he is. I wouldn't call him an entrepreneur. Today I would call him, because he has started many companies, but he inherited from his dad. But look at that. He has taken the company maybe 400 times bigger than his dad would have ever imagined. If he was there, he would have been so happy. So what does it mean? I'm showing you two different people. One, an entrepreneur who made it big, like Zomato, Goel. The other one is somebody who inherited from his father, but made a multi-billion-dollar company, created wealth for so many people in the world. So how is that possible? Because it's their single focused dedication that this is what they want to do. Whatever, come rain and shine, doesn't matter. They will not let go of their idea. They will only make it happen. So I just wanted to touch upon this once. Somebody interviewed Jeff Bezos in Dallas. You can see that video in YouTube. So they asked him, AWS today, AWS, which is a cloud platform, is bringing more than, I think, 50% of 55% of revenue, or maybe more than that, for Amazon. So how did this magic happen? He said there is no magic. Before AWS happened, I have experimented with 230 plus ideas. This is the only idea which survived, which is thriving right now. So you need to constantly keep doing it. Forget about what others are saying. There is too much of nonsense going on in social media, even though it's a fantastic platform. But if you come and see my LinkedIn, I have unsubscribed to everybody except few people, because I don't want to waste my time, because everybody seem to know everything. And when I go meet them and talk, they are not able to speak. Most of the time, that's the way I come across, right? So don't waste time in social media. Start reading books. Bring clarity to your life. Write it down. Anything which cannot be written down cannot be executed. See, look at this. I'm writing down everything everything I talk about, anything important, I talk about it. I'm extremely organized. And I'm not here to say that I'm a founder, I'm this, I'm that. I've got, I don't want to, show my swag here. Those are all not necessary. Look at the Flipkart founders. They are fantastic. And they are not only entrepreneurs, but brilliant businessmen, right? See, they are very quiet and they get things done. What a brilliant company they have built it. Next question. All right. Sai, can we shut it?
Yeah, Muki. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the insight.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate. And don't wait for magic to happen. There is nothing like that which exists in life. No belief system, no tradition, no culture, no amount of passion is going to help you to become a successful entrepreneur. All right. So have a focus on health, understand food, body, and life, and then go forward. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Muki.
Thank you.
Insightful.